All right, so we got Aries compatibility with Libra. Now, these are polar opposites. So when you have opposites, there's always going to be a love and hate scenario. AKA, this can be good, this can be bad. But of course, y'all going to always be coming back to each other. Y'all always going to be running back to each other, no matter what the circumstance situation is, or it's going to be a good standoff, or it's going to be a bad standoff. But y'all going to hold in so much. It's like a soul tie, but it's not like a demonic soul tie, but it can be that kind of perspective when we talking about oppositions. Now, when we got Aries, see, Aries, they like self-centered, so they like to do things separately in their own way. And if you got Libra here, you got Libra that loves to relate, loves to correspond, loves to compromise, and loves to make things more even, like the even the scales and weigh the balances. And when you have Libra and Aries formulating a relationship together, you have a cardinal fire, which is dealing with passion, motivation, dedication. And if you, of course, you have a cardinal air, which loves to communicate, utilize intellect, and of course, have peace and balance and compromisation. Now, when you got Libra here, Libra can be very indecisive when it comes to making decisions, or when it comes to basically picking a story, or picking a resolution, or picking the conference. When it comes down to like coming out with a negotiation or making a move or making a plan. See, Libra always gonna look at the Aries like, yo, should we do this or should we do this? I don't know if I want to come up with this perspective. I don't know if I want to do that. Now the Aries gonna be like, I'm with whatever you trying to do. How are we gonna basically express this and go here and go about our day? See, we can talk all day about what's gonna basically take place, but are we gonna climb the mountain? How can we get up the mountain together? How can we basically make the next move? See, Aries is like the spaceship, and of course, Libra is like basically the person. So Aries is gonna basically utilize cardinal fire and push out, but Libra is always gonna basically make situations as to where they want to control the relationship, make the move, because you know you got this is Venus right here, and of course you got Mars, which is kind of like opposites. Also, you got Mars, which is the daytime, and you got Venus, which is the nighttime, which basically represents on how the food is going to be put on the table. Because you know Mars is the daytime, which represents going to work, taking care of the business, taking care of the goals. And when Mars come home, Mars is going to be like, okay, cool. Now I got a wife, aka a wife that's gonna basically bring balance, aka peace, which means I don't gotta worry about doing the cooking. I don't gotta worry about doing that. She's just home. She's a housewife. She's gonna make sure the plates is ready. She's gonna make sure the dinner is cooked. She's gonna make sure my food is basically taken care of. Boom. That's how it's gonna play out into this relationship. The Libra is always gonna want to find peace and balance and harmony when it comes to relating with his man or with his girl or whatsoever. For me, the Libra is always gonna find that solution and resolution to where equilibrium is compromised. Now, Libras can also look at Aries like they're too assertive and too aggressive, and they don't know how to take their time with things. They just boost into things right away, almost to the point where Aries can be teaching the Libra how to drive, and the Aries can be very impatient with the Libra because the Libra may not be getting it right at the first time. The Libra can basically be trying to question if she's doing things right or is this the right thing to do it. Aries just be like, yo, sit back, drive, and experience. And of course, this can be a circumstance situation where Libra may not like the fact that Aries is expressing itself in that manner or basically being too direct. And of course, a Libra, you know, they don't like to argue and get into situations and circumstances of that nature. But of course, they're going to pinpoint and address certain things. But when it comes to brutality and arrogance, a Libra going to basically spin away from that. Feel me? Because this is cardinal air. Feel me? That's like trying to contain fire and shit. And you know you can't contain fire. If you try to light a match and shit, the air not gonna fuck with the fire. Feel me? The air gonna put out the motherfucking fire. Cause I'm like, yo, wait, hold on. I love to have peace, but this fire shit, I can't really do it. Because you know it can be a heat wave, and that heat wave is too much hot. It's like trying to contain the air. It's like, damn, no, it's fucking hot. And this motherfucker open the window, crack the window. That's why I leave it always need that motherfucking window to be open. Feel me? If that window ain't motherfucking open, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. And of course, that goes into the consideration as to where the the Aries, it don't really deal too much with communication and conversation or trying to be reasonable about things because it's worried about itself. It's worried about getting from point A to point B without having too many scenarios and circumstances of us talking about it. For me, I like to just basically get into things, get things right, get things situated. I don't like to beat around the bush or waiting or trying to come up with a plan. Like if we're here, if we're on the boat, why are we waiting to basically wait for lifeguards to come here? Like, this boat is gonna fucking sink, and if we don't get the fuck off this boat is gonna basically drown us. So we gotta get the fuck off this motherfucking boat. Like, what is you doing? What is you thinking about right now, Libra? And Libra, like, I think we should wait. I don't think we should basically, no, the Aries gonna be like, yo, let's go. The ship is sounding, it's sinking. Aries gonna drag the Libra. Aries gonna come up with a way to get from point A to point B a lot faster. And of course, the longer you sit there and wait, that's like fire. That's like Aries becoming a Leo. Aries gonna be like, wait, hold on, this ain't my modality. I gotta get the fuck up out of here. I can't wait here for too long. Aries gonna be on some shit like, if you with me or not, I'm gonna get the fuck off this motherfucking boat, and I don't give a fuck if you with me or against me. For me, I'm gonna get the fuck off this boat. Now, if you want to sit around and wait for a motherfucking lifeguard to come basically save your ass, then that's you. But just know I'm about to get my way off this boat, and I ain't about to be on here in this motherfucker sinking and drowning. And Libra ain't gonna have no choice but to be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have to go with the Aries, because Libra is very indecisive, and Libra don't know if it should take this route or take that route. That's why Libras can play devil's advocate sometimes. For me, they could be all over the place, and Aries can look at a Libra like it's wishy-washy. They don't come up with ideas and concepts that they can stick with and go after. Versus a fucking Aries that like to be assertive and just basically push and go towards that goal and go towards that objective. For me, instead of being too subjective. Even though Libras ain't subjective, they kind of like objective. They just masculine air, so they take their time with things. And also, Venus falls, and also the Sun falls in Libra, so that means the way they express themselves, the way they put this, the way they're putting themselves out there, the way they're relating to things of that nature, is more prone towards making sure somebody else is fed, somebody else is ate, somebody else is taken care of. They don't really care about getting they nut off. They worry about getting the other person nut off. So basically, if the sun is not shining on this person, then that means they actions and shit is down here, bending over, relating and shit. How you can bend backwards, how you can bend over and get you in doggy style to make sure I penetrate your cheeks. Basically, that's how it's playing. That's how it's being played out in that perspective. So when you got Aries and Libra here, you see Aries is like kind of like it's the sun is exalted in Aries, so that means the sun is here while the sun falls in Libra. So if the sun is exalted in Aries, that means the Aries love to basically present and show themselves on how to express, how to get from point A to point B, versus the Libra not giving a fuck about the self-expression, is worrying about trying to relate this to the world in a two versus against the world. Now, Aries like to basically just go out there and present itself, and of course, the attraction gonna come whether or not. But I'm not gonna be sitting here needing a partner to basically express some shit off. Now, the Aries can teach the Libra how to be more self-assertive and basically put their light on, put their fire on, not put their fire out. The Aries gonna help the Libra make sure that fire, that candle, is not too burnt out. It's gonna basically penetrate and utilize some of its fire and get that shit healing. Now, Libra can teach the Aries on how to be more relatable, how to find equilibrium, how to find balance, learn how to communicate and relate to people, not be too off the bush and too off the cliff and shit. It can teach people how to do that too, but in a more reasonable way, as in the teamwork make the dream work kind of process, for knowing that an Aries is more like a self-assertive when it comes to I and team. That's an Aries for you. But of course, that's Aries compatibility with Libra. I didn't want to make this video too long because it might cut off soon. But of course, I'm going to make more videos on these compatibilities. But of course, that's what we did with Aries compatible with Libra. For me, the relationship can work out. It can work together as long as y'all both can basically learn how to correlate. Don't have a love and hate. Don't have a hate scenario. Don't get too loving, because you can't trap air. Air like to basically be able to, get out and explore. And of course, Aries like to be, it want to be the center stage. It don't care about the recognition, but of course, it's gonna want to basically control you and do all the extracurricular perspectives, because of course you also got Pluto here, which is the nighttime, that loves desires and controls and power and shit. So if you got that perspective here, it plays out deep in this perspective, and it's very strong if you got this corresponding to this nature and how you relate this to another person. So yeah, this relationship can work out as long as y'all find equilibrium, and of course, as long as y'all can work on each other, help each other how to correspond with y'all modalities and make things more more equilibrialized, y'all be able to actually crucify the game and not get lost into your motherfucking desires. But that's Aries and Libras in the love show for now.